This is going to be a long one. But Breezy's cronies, or maybe it's Breezy on a sock, has threatened to re-upload my past mental breakdowns to try and quote-unquote prove this remark. All because I agreed to Busy Little Bee's tweet, as well as gave a factual response. Again, yes, I am wretched and dehyed. I was one of Breezy's active followers, who saw the light and kicked her to the curb. So let's rewind. It started the end of May this year. I went through what seemed like and what possibly was a midlife crisis. My second and only other home I spent my childhood and life in was getting sold, which should have never happened. The house was never to be sold. My grandmother got scammed and gave all her money away. She was neglecting the taxes and was forced to sell. It was not her purposely neglecting to pay them. It was the dementia. I regret not stepping up and paying little by little for the taxes to keep our home. There's a long story behind why I didn't, and it is obviously very personal, that I don't wish to speak on it, for it also will trigger me. I was in a state where it was always hot. If you had no AC or at least a fan, you were cooked. When my mother moved my grandmother out of our house, she shut the power off, leaving me in an unlivable condition. To get it turned back on right away would have cost me almost $250. I just spent my previous check on the water bill, my phone bill, and groceries. I was under the impression I had 2 more weeks before the closing of the house, so my thought process was, it would be a waste of money to have it turned back on, then to only have it on for 2 weeks. Also, I needed to relocate ASAP. My friend talked to their family, to which they said I could relocate and live with them. A safe place, till I got on my feet. The only downside was they were 20 hours away, which meant I had to leave my job, my Grammy. I would have been barely surviving if I didn't. So the check I was to receive in 3 days, I planned to send it to my friend, to which then, as soon as they got it, jumped in their car and came to rescue me. Thankfully, during those 3 days waiting, I was able to keep cool during the day at work, charge my portables, and because I paid the water bill, I had water to take multiple showers while at home to keep somewhat cool. Have you ever taken a shower in pitch black dark or just had your phone light to see with during? That was me. I was a fish that Saturday and Sunday while my friend was driving down. I must have taken 100 showers. It was that hot. The plan was to go to a hotel the night they arrived so I can take a proper shower. The loan I applied for was denied, and everything in my last check went to gas and food. We actually slept in the car, at a convenience store parking lot. On the way back, if I would have received that loan, I would have been okay. But it didn't happen, which put me in a very tough spot.
With bright goals, motivation to get started on my new life, I face-planted into another wall. I forgot one of my government documents in my house. Things needed to get a job. I had to wait for my stepdad to go and retrieve it and send it to me. Mind you, this man works 80 hours a week. I had to patiently wait for him to have a day off. He was able to find my birth certificate, but not my social security card. So I had to wait another 2 weeks on top of the week it took to get my birth certificate, for social to come in the mail. During these 3 weeks, my friend lost his car. I was supposed to have had a job to help him, but I failed, putting me in an even tougher position. Only one car on the property, and the owner of it worked full-time. My transportation to work depended on her, so I did everything I could to find a job in my direct area. Less than 10 miles away. Everything I applied for was fully staffed, and I was playing the waiting game. Yet again, this time was for a call. No position was opening. I saw that YouTube content creators who were monetized, Breezy being the prime example, make money off YouTube, and decent money too. So I started posting a lot, working my ass off on edits and songs. At this time, I was a Breezy Bunch member. I was even in the Discord. They all knew what I was going through. For I spoke to them as friends, not online acquaintances. At that time, they all loved me, though now I was the e-beggar who constantly asked for money. Expressing that I wish I wasn't broke, wished I had money, or made comments like, if I had the money. I was a big Mary Jane smoker when I had a job. I had my medical card, so every day I got high. I went from having it every day to not at all. Of course I had withdrawals and expressed that too. They stopped loving me because I called Breezy out on her bull after seeing the truth of her and seeing how she treats her friends behind their back. I should have watched Busy Little Bee when it came up on recommended. Instead, I learned the truth from Be Our Guest. With everything going on in my mental state, it threw me into a manic spiral. All the hateful and discouraging comments got to me. To the point I was making a video about Breezy every day, if not 3 times a day. I calmed down in time, but I was still manic due to being unemployed. I came onto YouTube and told my full story, overshared emotions, as well as my GoFundMe page. Cried, yelled, screamed, even got on my knees and begged for help. I really did make a fool out of myself. The discouraging comments just kept coming. Even though they got what they wanted, quote-unquote evidence I was a grifter. I really was in need of help. I was starting to lose hope. A few wonderful people helped me get by. Important needs as well as keep my phone and internet. But it wasn't job-worth donations. The most I made in 4 months was maybe $400 max. That is a week's paycheck. Again, in a 4-month span, just $400.
I understood it wasn't anyone's responsibility to pay my bills or fund my life, but with no calls coming, I felt begging was the last resort. I've said this quite a few times now. I regret doing that. On September 1st, I said I was going to delete my channel. My subs asked me to stay, to which I did. I tried going back to my foodie beauty content, and then would respond at all the hate comments via community post. It was the comments responses of these people who gave me my name now. Hide the hated. For they love to throw it in my face that, quote, no one like me, unquote. In other words, I was hated. At that time, my mental state was still fragile. I was thinking very dark, and even started thinking of deletion of IRL. That's where I had enough. I went ahead and deleted my channel. On September 13th, 700-something subscribers, 400-something videos, and almost 2K hours of watch time. I knew it was the right choice because I needed to get off the internet and get my shit together. I started calling the places I applied 3 times a week, asking if a position opened and to please keep me in mind. Places that only hired full-time, I'd ask if they could find something I can do part-time. They probably got annoyed with my constant nagging. I finally got a call, and have been going hard the past few weeks. Even taking on shifts that are on my days off. No, I have not received my first check yet. I'm back to the waiting game of it to come in the mail. Thought I am getting it. My mental state is a hell of a lot better since knowing I have money coming in. The cronies don't ever take the time to see. I have not once thrown my cash app or asked for donations. When I was working down south, I used to say, quote, my cash app is $, I have a job. I don't need your money, unquote. It really is still hide 1813. But if I ever make a cash app joke, I would say the $, don't need it. Have a job. So why am I feeding the trolls and making this video? So if this person really did document Wretched's videos as they threatened, they will be using them soon. If I see something and it's worth to respond, so be it. I'll be another voice, to let people know how Breezy operates. For I don't plan on being silent when it comes to her. Especially now her cronies are coming back around. I know it was a long one. I wish this could have been shorter. But luck was not, the word not being ultra-capitalized, on my side. And to give full context, I needed to give the most important details with what caused those episodes. If you made it to this point, thank you for taking the time to listen. I promise to stay on track and continue on with my foodie videos. All the support I have gotten the past few days, aka views, likes, and comments, is very appreciated. Have a wonderful day, afternoon or night.